Okay, hello everyone. We are back in Morrowind, great land of Morrowind, and we have tons of potions, but very weak potions, even though they're worth like 100. That you can obviously make stronger, and we'll do that later using crazy alchemy techniques, like actually using all of the alchemy tools, which definitely help in pretty much all ways except for the one tool that just pretty much makes effects that are bad not as bad, which is, I guess, kind of useful if you're making such potions, but I don't think I'll be making any of those. I'll just be getting marshmallow and soul trice, be making health potions that do not have negative effects. But anyways, so we are going to get into enchanting, something I've been wanting to do, and the first thing we're going to be needing is soul gems. Definitely lots of soul gems, just to kind of get the enchanting up a little bit, so that we don't fail every time. Even though it's still going to be a lot of fail, but we can still create like some very, very weak enchantments with like extravagant stuff. And I'll have to go buy from some clother trading lady in Balmora sometime later on. But first we have to take a boat all the way to the Telvanni and find a enchanting
Why walk when you can ride?
enchanter trader who will sell us all our lesser soul gems that we need. And then definitely should probably get our conjuration up sometime later on so that we can
We make a
summon
special
things
trip
that we
just for
can
you.
just kill
Same
for soul
low
gems
price.
that aren't like skeletons, but for now skeletons will do for lesser soul gems, but later on when we want greater soul gems or grand soul gems or maybe even Azura Star, we'll need some
Go
better
ahead.
souls to fill those. For now, this will do. Just gotta go talk to not the Khajiit, because we're not going to Soul Slime, which would actually be pretty fun to do in this series, because I don't think I've ever completed the main quest in the Soul Slime. It's really, I've just been doing the one where you make a house there. Not sure if that is the main quest or not, but I think there was a bigger one where you have to kill badder people, maybe, I don't know.
Make it quick,
I
Outlander.
never really got into Souls Time, but I did get into Tribunal, which I did complete. I remember getting the Tribunal expansion. I thought Royal Guards had the coolest armor out there. They have a picture of them on the cover, and I thought, wow, that would be the most epic armor to have. And I also thought it would be a very strong armor, knowing that it's worn by Royal Guards.
I really don't have time for this, so make it quick.
And it's pretty strong, but it's not as good as Daedric, of course, because Daedric is the best, other than like Brandagulf's gauntlets. But Daedric is also very cool armor. I think Royal Guard armor definitely could be the coolest looking armor, just because it's like red. And what other armor is completely red and it's just, I don't know, it's just cool. And when I first got the expansion, I thought it was the coolest thing. And I had to go through that whole entire tribunal thing just to get a whole set of it. Even though you can easily just kill one of the guards, they do have some exclusive restore health potions, but they're still not even that hard to kill, really. Especially if they start running from you, which is kind of weird. Knowing that if you ask people around Tribunal about the Royal Guards, they'll be like, oh, they're these terrible, scary figures that were hand-picked by the king. I'd stay away from them if I were you. And yet, I started fighting one, and he started running away from me. I don't know. It's pretty sad. But they are only equipped with a adamantium. I think that's how you pronounce it. Weapon, which is not very strong at all. Probably one of the weaker weapons in the game. But I think Daedric is always the best. And if you can't get Daedric, just bound weapons are so amazing. Like our spear. Very, very strong. So I'm just looking for magic, like restore magic potions. Very useful for enchanting, because it kind of sucked to have to conjure up a skeleton, soul trap it, and then once you run out of magicka, you have to like rest. But instead, I can just gulp a bunch of potions. Make it a lot easier. She only sells like cheap ones, which kind of suck. I'm gonna take that Tavani bug musk, even though probably will not use it until we get to the main quest, and even then, it's not really that useful, because you can just bribe everyone if you have the money, and due to going to Tribunal, it's really easy, very easy to make money. Because I found a pretty good way, and you could go out, get Daedric weapons from any Daedric shrine. There's always lords, Dremora lords, walking around there with ebony or Daedric, and usually the weapons are at least worth 10,000 if you persuade her all the way to 100, which is what I usually do for people I plan to sell to a lot, like the Alchemist. But you could do that, or you could just kill the Ordinator who's in there. And even though the Ordinator is pretty dang strong, if you are able to get enough hits off and keep your distance with the spear, even though it's a pretty enclosed place, he'll start running from you. You can just keep killing him until he finally dies. And by finally, I mean like finally dies. Like, if you don't have very much strength, which I don't, it will take a very long time, and I can at least hit him like every time, pretty much. But I will take a lot of potions before starting the fight. And then, once you kill this Ordinator, you know, it's like 40 gold you have to pay to the other guards so they don't kill you. But you can pretty much just loot all the armor, and all of it is worth over 10,000 except for the shield that they have, which is kind of weird. The shield is worth like 2k. I think this is probably the best money-making method I've found in this game. It's very easy, especially when you get to the higher levels, and you can kill the Ordinator faster, but you know, the Ordinator has like 7 pieces of armor, or 8, so it's a quick 80k. And you can just keep repeating this after waiting a few days. The Ordinary will come back, and you can kill him again, sell all his armor, pay that 40 gold fine, and then be on your way. So I want to go to some inn right now, where I can get a room, practice my enchanting by summoning a bunch of skeletons, and putting their souls in some little shards.
My time is precious, so make
So
it quick.
it's good to have a bed if you run out of like magic potions. And then after that, we will go looking for a Daedric Shrine, which I have found on another account, which has usually a Golden Saint
Make it quick, Outlander.
and 2 Dramoras, which have ebony or Daedric weapons. But I think it depends on your level, what kind of weapons they have. So kind of low level-wise, which kind of makes it difficult, because it makes it a very low chance that they will
Make
have
it quick,
the more
Outlander.
rare weapons that we could use. But there's still a chance. I just kind of want to find it, and you know, we'll go raid some different tombs or bandit caves on the way, which should get us some pretty good enchanted weapons and different very unique things that could definitely help us out. And this guy looks pretty cool with his
Don't you have
totally,
some place
like,
to
not
be?
matching outfit at all. I mean, he's got bone mold, and then he's got the Dre Curris thing, and he's got this crazy hat on. Little advice, and I'm wondering what does he do? So he's a sharpshooter, and I'm not sure if he actually uses a bow, even though he calls himself a sharpshooter. Because I forget, I haven't really attacked one of those Telvanni in a while, because they have very good enchanted stuff that I like, and I like them a lot, so why attack them? I think Telvanni are really cool. They're probably the better society in Morrowind. They're just more powerful and just better in general. Probably should have got some gold before this, but I have like no gold. But since we're just buying lessers, I don't really need too much gold. And it's not like I'm gonna get like 100 to fill. That'd take so long. And even though I only get so many, it still takes a very long time. So I got those lessers, and there's a greater, and I wish I could steal all this stuff. But we cannot do that until we get Chameleon 100, which makes you so pretty much the best thief in the world. Unless you try to pickpocket someone, then you're kind of screwed. But rather than that, you just like activate that and you initiate sneak. And I don't think you even have to initiate sneak, because you're invisible, so you can just pretty much steal anything. It's pretty much the greatest item in the game. I
Spit it
think.
out or hit the road.
So I was just wondering, because I think I remember all these people when I first got this game, and I was going to the Telvanni because I liked to travel back then, even though I had nothing to do considering quests or anything. There was no real mission to go there. I just felt like going to all the different places that you could travel to, because I thought that was a really cool thing about Morrowind. and I always like to travel to new places and look at all the different characters in that location and see what I could see like on their body and pretty much try to kill them and steal what they have. Usually not a good idea because I was probably the worst Morrowind player back then. And I'd always get one-shotted no matter what. I was that bad. But I do remember fighting that group, and I believe that girl with the robe is she wields a glass staff. And back then I was always trying to get like rare weapons and stuff, like glass armor or anything. Freaking cliff racers are always freaking everywhere. I mean, on the docks, freaking with the Telvanni, on the docks, like nowhere near a cliff. And what do you know? Freaking cliff racer. They're everywhere. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was always trying to get rare weapons, but I actually never did back then. I pretty much never achieved really anything in Morrowind. I'd basically just run around exploring, trying to find something that I could possibly get my hands onto without dying or committing a crime.
This better be important.
But it never happened. Probably the best thing that I ever got was ebony bracers, and I had to kill a pawnbroker for it, so it wasn't a big accomplishment. And then later, about probably 2 to 3 years after I first got the game,
Any time now.
I started a new character that was an orc, and I had the most success with that character because I believe the orc ability is this thing that makes you, I think it gives you like strength, and it also increases your ability to hit people. And I remember that I could never actually hit anybody because I never wait for my fatigue. I was so impatient. But I'd always be missing and missing. So when I actually was able to get that power to actually hit people and not miss using the orc's ability, I felt like I became unstoppable. And I kind of was. Because orcs are really strong, actually. And with that ability, and also I think an increase in strength, I could pretty much like 5-shot people, and that was like a big accomplishment for me back then. Even on like 0 difficulty, normal. It was crazy. So I actually was able to get, I believe I stole Umbra's stuff, killing him. And those were the items that I used the rest of the game that I played on the world. But I never actually completed the game on him. He was just kind of a character for exploration of things that I could never do because but then, like a year after that, I played a high elf, and that time I actually got into the game, and it was kind of like my mission was to beat Morrowind on any character that I could. I just never beat the game, and I thought, well, I've had this game for so long. It's my favorite game, and yet I've never actually met Dagoth, and I've never actually killed him and been the hero of Morrowind. And I still have that saved game. I believe I called it Morrowind completed. But I was very proud back then. And now, just to step it up, after actually knowing the game, I've decided to beat it on very hard. And that way, I'll be totally finished with everything that you can basically do in Morrowind. Beating it on the hardest difficulty, and the only other thing that you could possibly do to really make yourself to be really difficult would be hardcore mode. Fight and go through the game until you actually die, and then it's over. And I think that would probably be the hardest, but definitely doable if you kind of have a path that you stick to, and you know is completable with your level. Because definitely do not go out and enter random caves in Morrowind if you are trying not to die. Many experience with this, going into random caves, and there will be a very high level something, either people or a creature, but usually people are because they don't have like a skill cap. But yes, you'll go into some random bandit cave and get one-shotted. Like, I do remember trying to actually go through Morrowind on hardcore, hardest difficulty, with only one life. And I made it as far as from Satanine to Pelagiad, and then I entered a random cave, and I thought I was strong enough to take on some bandits there. I was kind of playing a weird magic user with some short blade. So I pretty much shot like 2 like shock bolts, which got the bandit about 3/4, and then even though she was wielding like a dagger, I started hitting her, and then she got one dagger like stab on her. So unless you actually know how strong something is, you probably shouldn't go after it in Morrowind. It's not recommended, I guess, because you never really know how strong something is. It could be like a simple skeleton with like a two-handed, and all of a sudden it shots you. It's the craziest thing, but you're pretty weak in endurance wise. So definitely healing is essential. Which is why exclusive health restore potions are always a good buy. But we're almost done finishing sealing all these skeletons over and over again. because kind of overwatching all these skeletons get constantly speared to death, and this one's probably not gonna die because my bounce spear is always wearing off, because it's like 30 seconds. I can't remember. But this is helpful because it's getting our spear skill up. And the weird thing about spears is the governing like attribute is not strength, but endurance. I actually kind of like that because the only other thing that I could possibly get endurance from would be I couldn't get too much endurance, and then my health would be very, very low. And even though I have all the healing in the world, if I was ever hit by the Dremora Lord, I'd probably get one shot. Lucky. So I actually like that the spear is amazing. And eventually, I'm going to switch to Longblade with a shield, because I think Argonians look really cool with long blade and shield. And plus, long blades are actually really strong, especially the two-handed long blades. Very strong, and they actually have good range. I don't think they have as much range as the spear, but definitely a good range. I might even have to try using Umbra if I need to do a ton of damage in a short amount of time. So I think I've filled at least most of these. Soul gems. And we can get on out of this little room that I've rented for a night, yet I've used for a week.
You Inma.
And what the hell? Alright, I seriously need to go to Blood Moon and just put an end to all these assassins freaking coming in every room that I sleep, and then they're not even
What's this about?
spawning in my room. They're always spawning around it, and they're always hiding behind random plants in the room, and then all of a sudden I enter that room and then freaking random assassin. So I definitely need, even though I am an Ebonheart, I could easily just go out behind me, transport to Morrowind, where Tribunal takes place, and I could finally end all these assassins. And of course, constantly being targeted by ebony darts,
but make it
and
quick.
be getting poisoned by Viper, except for I can't get poisoned. So maybe set on fire, or shocked to death, or frozen to death. They're gonna give me what's it called? Whatever makes your fingers blue or whatever, and then they fall off or something. But I think it's called frostbite, actually. Kind of like a spell. Anyways, so we're gonna go to Balmora,
Where would you like to go?
and we are going to buy a bunch of rings and amulets, and then we are going to enchant them with really weak spells, I don't know, levitate 1 point for 1 second, and I don't know if you can actually fly with that. If you spam it, maybe you can get off the ground. Probably not, but you actually get enchanting like experience for using your enchanted items, and then you also get enchanted experience for just recharging them using your lesser soul gems. So that, I think, is probably the best way, other than spending money to train them. So I'll have to bring the video to an end, and
I'm a busy guy, so if you could hurry
if
this
you
up.
liked it, leave a like and share it around, whatever you want to do. And definitely leave some comments, feedback, what you want me to go do, if you have any Morrowind secrets or experience or whatever, or if you just want to see me keep doing what I say I'm going to do. But definitely we're going to be going into those caves, a lot of action, a lot of potion drinking and spells, and use of enchanted items, and strategy and crazy stuff is coming pretty soon, so definitely stay tuned.